record on this computer. Okay, we are recording. All right, so here we go. It is November 30th, and this is our meal plan basics, and we will dive right in. Thanks for being here. So if you've been on this call before, there are going to be a few new elements to it, but a little bit of it is review if you have been here before. But if you haven't, I'm going to just assume nobody's been here before. This is totally new. You know nothing about meal planning or containers or anything. So we're going to start with kind of why we meal plan and what's the idea behind it. Well, obviously we plan now, right? So we save time when we're super busy during the week. We're working, we're here and there with the kids, we have obligations. We do it now, we do it on the weekend, or we do it whenever it makes sense for us. If we don't work on a Monday, we'll do it on a Monday. Whatever makes sense with your schedule, you do it then when you have time. And then when you are super busy during the week, you save time in that way and you don't make bad choices. So like the second point is you reduce the urge to cheat when you have a plan. If you know already what you're going to eat during the week, you don't come home and you don't wander around in your pantry or go through your cabinets and try to figure out what you're going to eat. You already know what's going to happen. It actually saves you money. And I think a lot of people have this misconception that eating clean always costs more. But I used to go to the grocery store, have no clue what I was going to make for the week. I would just go out and just buy a bunch of crap. It would get in my cart, and then it would either go to waste or, it just wasn't efficient. It wasn't effective. So that's one reason why it's more efficient. But also, I stick to my list. I'm not just going to go to the grocery store and buy all this random stuff. And also, I know Kathy Miller, who's one of the coaches on our team, she does a really good job of looking at the ads beforehand and then kind of basing her meal plan, her proteins, maybe on the meats that are on sale for the week. So there's lots of different strategies on how you can actually save money and eat clean. Kind of similar to what I said before, it helps you stay on track. So you don't have to do one of these things where you have an app where you're counting calories all the time or points, and you're maybe eating up, you're doing something that's a bad choice, but you just have more points for it. It doesn't necessarily balance out what you should be eating. Just because your total points for the day is okay, it doesn't always mean it was a good choice. So it helps you stay on track, and it helps you be the healthy example in your family. So even if you live alone, when you go to work and you have your meal plan, and you know what, you might be scrutinized at first. You might be, oh, look at her, she's trying to be healthy, she's so cute, and it happens. And you know what, deep down they're like, oh man, I wish I could do that. But even in your home, if you are a parent or whatever your situation is in your home, if you can be that person that sets the example for your family, it's really empowering. It makes you feel really good, and it really spreads out to your entire family. So it's kind of fun to be the person that has that responsibility. All right. So before we really jump into the logistics and how it works, don't be scared. I think meal planning is the number one thing that people tell me, like, oh my gosh, I couldn't work out or I can drink a shake, but I can't do the meal planning. Like, it's too overwhelming for me. But I will tell you from the start, you have to do what works for you. You can do it to a T, what I'm going to show you tonight. But don't be afraid to customize it and make it work for you. I say that all the time. You have to find a program and find the fit that's right for you. Like, I will always do my plan on Friday. I will shop on Saturday. I will prep on Sunday. That's my goal every week. That may not be what you do. I'm going to show some other examples as we go through of maybe some alternative options that they work for my family, but they might not work for yours. So be flexible. Don't be like I said, don't be afraid to try new things. Like Shanti always says, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. And that doesn't only apply to workouts. That applies with basically everything in life. So you can apply it to something as simple as meal planning, or something much bigger as, taking a big leap in a direction that you're unsure of. It can be applied in a lot of ways, but just don't be afraid to try new things. And at the same time, don't expect perfection. Every single week I make some sort of change, or I mess up, or I have too many yellows on a day. I mean, it's life. It's not the end of the world. The meal plan is a guide for us. So if you're not perfect, it's okay. A few tips on the actual prepping. Clean as you go. It's a time saver. And that's something I think people get overwhelmed with too. Maybe they've done their meal prep and they're awesome. They've got all these beautiful containers in front of them and everything's all laid out in front of them. And they're getting ready to put in their refrigerator and they turn around and their kitchen is a complete mess, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, this is overwhelming. How am I ever going to clean this? You kind of clean as you go and pick it up as you go. It's really helpful. Save the plans you like. If there's a week that there's a plan that you were like, man, this really worked for my family, or you write some notes on it, like changes you would make the next time, keep it. And then on a week when you don't have time to make a new plan, use it again. Keep it really simple for yourself. Your prep storage containers don't have to be perfect. I know people think they have to have matching containers and it has to be like what people post on social media. It doesn't. Mine don't match. Mine have different, containers. Mine are like lids and plastic and glass and whatever. They just have to work. So don't like have some sort of image thing about that. And with our Fixate 21-day fix type meal plan, the 80-20 rule applies, which means you get to work in treat meal in your meal plan. So like I said, who can be 100% when the world has pizza to eat, right? You need to be realistic about your meal plan and know that on Friday night, we always eat pizza. Or on Friday night, we go out to Mexican and I have a margarita. Put it in there and you know it's coming and it's something to look forward to and you're already counting for it. Like you're already making sure you have that to look forward to and it's going to happen. All right. So why is nutrition so important? Well, 80% of your results come from what you put in your body. Fitness is important, right? But you control what you can control. You eat the right foods, you eat the right balance, you follow this portion container system, and you're going to get results. And I think people are surprised at how much food they get to eat with this plan. And sometimes people even say, I can't eat that much. So we'll figure out different ways to get greens in your Shakeology and just different strategies. But there's a reason that it's balanced out the way it is. And so the container system is designed to make sure that you, based on your level of fitness, your current weight, your goals, that it's balanced out in the right proportion to make sense for what you need to be feeding your body. You can control drinking your Shakeology every day. Feel good about that. I tell people, if nothing else, if you have a bad day, if you eat the pizza and you weren't supposed to that day, just make sure you're getting your Shakeology. If nothing else, that is one amazing thing that you're doing for yourself in that day. And it's important to drink it every day because it's kind of like, I don't know, I don't like to do the analogy of like a prescription because it's totally natural and it's so different from that. But, if your doctor prescribes something to you, they're not going to say, take this every other day and you're going to get, you're going to see the benefit, or take this once a week. It's, you need to do this daily so it gets in your system, it gets to your body on a cellular level, and you can feel the impact. You just do it every once in a while, and then you come to me and say, you know what, Sarah? I don't know, this Shakeology didn't really do much for me. Okay, are you drinking it every day? That's the key. And that's not because I want you to keep buying bag after bag. It's because that's how you feel the benefit. So I want to just make sure that that's like the easiest thing that you can do for your body every single day. And one thing I think we tend to do also, fitness is important, but sometimes what we do is we say, you know what, I worked out this morning, so now I can have that donut. Or I walked 20 minutes, so that means that I can do this bad choice. And it has to be a combination, right? If you want change, you have to make sure it's a combination of the fitness, the nutrition, and the support. It's very important. All right. So that's just a little preview into actually what we're going to do for meal planning, kind of the whys and the whats and just the reasons why it's important. So here's some steps we're actually going to go through. There are 7 meal planning steps. Some of them you're not going to do every week once you know them. But just from a very starting level, you are going to first determine your calorie category. And I'll show you how to do all these. This is what we're going to go through tonight. You're going to find a format that works for you. You're going to, meaning a template, a meal planning template. You're going to know what to eat, and you're going to know how to count it. You're going to locate resources. You're going to pull it together to figure out how to pull your plan together. Then the last three are what you are going to do every week. You're going to plan it, buy it, and prep it. So we're going to go through all of this. And note that I'm using the 21-Day Fix or the Fixate plan, that program, okay? Some of our programs like PIO, some of the older programs that came out before 21-Day Fix have their own meal plan, their own programs, and that's totally fine. I tend to, even if I'm going to do PIO, I look at the calories, and I will then make sure I'm using the portions to kind of know the right balance. Same thing for, or something like Shift Shop, which is different than 21-Day Fix, but it's going to use the containers just in a different way because it's based on how the workout program is structured. So every single fitness program has a program materials and will tell you what to do, but you definitely want to talk to your coach, like, hey, I prefer to use the containers. So you can figure out how that every program, you can kind of pull that in. All right, so here we go. The first thing you're going to do, like I said, is determine your calorie category. So first, where is this stuff, okay? If you've got 21-Day Fix, if you got like the DVDs, old school DVDs a long time ago, it comes in your printed materials, or Beachbody On Demand, it is going to be in, where's 21-Day Fix? There it is. Hold on, let me mute here.
Hello.
Okay. It's going to be in program materials right here. And what am I looking for? Okay, getting started. To be honest, I did not make sure I remembered where I was going. There we go. Okay. There's Autumn's Behind. We get to see a whole lot in 21-Day Fix. Okay. So here we go. This is where this type of information lives. Program materials for all of the programs, but this is kind of your base. This is your foundation. So you're going to either be within plan A, B, C, or D, depending on what this equation works out for you. All right. So how it works then, whatever category you're in, whatever range, you're then going to know how many containers of each type of food category you're going to eat each day. And at first I was like, how in the world am I ever going to figure this out? Like, am I literally going to carry around, I know you can't see me maybe, are you literally going to carry around like a green container and put every veggie in it and a purple and put every fruit in it? No. That's where the planning comes in and is very convenient. But that is how we know the equivalent amounts that we need to be eating each day. All right. So, and do I actually measure things out in the containers? Yes, I do, but I'm not going to do that every day or take it with me. I kind of portion it all out. So that is where, like I said, all of the materials live here. You're going to have a calendar for every program. And let's see, we'll get to the food list here in just a second. So the other thing you can do is always use the files in the My Challenge Tracker app. I think those are overlooked sometimes. In the app, which is where the challenge group lives, right? That's our hub. That's our communication portal in a way. At the top, there's the group feed, which is like 3 little heads at the bottom. You click that, which is where all of the posts are. At the top, it says info and files. The files in there, there's recipes, there's personal development ideas, there's meal planning links. There's a lot of information in there. So make sure you check that out. I know sometimes it can be too much info, but usually there's really great recipes, if nothing else, that you want to check out in there. So here's kind of a little equivalence guide that I like to use just to know, maybe if I don't have my containers handy or something, but I will send this to you. You can look this up online too, but you can see like a green is a cup of veggies. So, you're going to eat between 3 and 6 cups of veggies a day, depending on what category you're in. Same thing with fruits, between 2 and 4, 4 to 6 proteins, 2 to 4 carbs. So it's just going to, it's going to balance out in the proportion that you need to make sure that you get results and that you're feeding your body with the right balance. All right. So number 2, that's how we get our calorie category. That's our starting point. Number 2, find a format that you like. There are tons of meal planning templates available. This one right here, this is the tally sheet that's actually in the program materials. This is a Excel spreadsheet that I've created for my group. I've actually changed it a little bit since then. This was a meal plan we found online that one of our challengers found and shared with us. I like it because you can write it in and then mark it off as you start adding them up. And then some people just use like a whiteboard or something that they just like to have out in their kitchen so that they know what they're going to eat each night. You can be simple. You can like have, you know, straight up Excel calculations and formulas. I mean, you can make it as whatever you feel comfortable with. That's what's important. And you can definitely change. I've used all of these. Number 3, know what to eat and how to count it. So also in the program materials, there's a food list. And this food list is, if you're not sure where something goes, it's going to tell you here. What I like about this is that some things like bananas or asparagus, you're not going to cut up and literally put into the container, right? So it will tell you the equivalent. Same thing with eggs. Like I know forever and a day, I know this because I love eggs, 2 eggs are 1 red. You know, you're not going to, if you crack 2 eggs and put them in the red, that's not going to fit correctly. So there's some things that don't, you know, you don't actually put in and measure. And so this is the reference that's great for here. I like to have this just kind of printed out. Or if you have the Beachbody On Demand app on your phone, which should be available for iOS and Android, you can actually access the program materials just like you can on a website. So you can have it handy with you all the time anyway. The 21-Day Fix app, I believe, also has this on there. I know a lot of people like to use it too, and they kind of use it as instead of like while they eat during the day, if they don't have a plan, they'll just mark things off as they eat them. So that's another thing too. I also get lots of questions like things like soups. You know, you put all this stuff together and you can't say you make a vegetable soup with beef in it. Are you going to, you know, portion out, find the little pieces of beef and throw it in there and then, you know, into a red and then put it back in? And, you know, you're not going to do that. What I kind of do is just, I look at the amount of veggies, the proportion to meats, to tomato sauce or whatever, and I just kind of estimate. I mean, to be honest, that's the best thing that you can do. Use your serving size as a guide, but you don't have to be insanely literal with every little thing. Autumn Calabrese might disagree, but it's worked. And she will even tell you, like, you know, like things like that. Just get them close enough. She has some strategies too. In Beachbody On Demand, there is I'll show you this too, a Fixate program. This program is awesome. I love this. It's a cooking show, so it's a little bit different. This program, did I select 21-Day Fix? What just happened here? The Fixate show, it's videos of them cooking and doing their thing. It's actually Autumn and her brother Bobby, but there's recipe videos, but there's also program materials, and it has a PDF of all the recipes too, and you can select it and it goes to it, or you can do a find for an ingredient that you like, and they're in there. Love the Fixate recipes. They're really, really good. And all the portion container equivalents are already in there because it's Autumn that's doing it, so you don't even have to think about it. So that's very cool. Okay, so speaking of resources, right? Fixate's one of them. But where do we even start now? So we know, okay, we've got our calculation category. We've got our containers. We understand, you know, what each color is and where the foods are going to fit. But now we've got a meal plan. We got a blank meal plan in front of us. So where do we start? You know, like, what resources are we going to pull together to figure this out? Well, first of all, you can literally go to Beachbody On Demand. Let's see if I can make this happen. And they already have meal plans for you. There's a meal plan, there's a Beachbody blog. You can go there and you can select your calorie category. It's even got different workouts, and it's already made up for you. So if you're like, you know what, for a couple weeks, I just don't want to do this on my own. I want to just try one of these, or if you want to use mine, whatever, you can just use these and not stress about it and kind of get an idea of how it works. You can make your own, which is what we're going to do tonight. I also use the Fixate, the Beachbody On Demand, and then the Fixate Cookbook. This is a great book. It's like got food all over it, and because I've tried almost every recipe. This is an awesome cookbook. Skinny Taste is another that I love. She now you do have to be careful sometimes with some of the sugar that she adds and things like that. You might try alternatives, but like I'll replace with honey quite often. But Skinny Taste Fast and Slow has amazing crockpot recipes in it. It's not all crockpot, but Skinny Taste, she just has a lot of her recipes online too. It's not Beachbody affiliated in any way. It's just somebody that I really like to follow. The Beachbody blog has lots of great recipes as well. You can link to that through Beachbody On Demand. You can see it at the top as an option. Pinterest and Google are your friends too. If you ever run out of recipes through these, you can just Google Fixate recipes, 21-day fix approved chicken, whatever you're looking for. And Pinterest, I have a Pinterest board, which I will share with you guys too. Somewhere, the little thing's in my way. But I pin different recipes on here that I use in my meal plans. The one I'm going to show you tonight, I will tell you, this is my meal plan the week of 12/4. These are the recipes that you're going to need. And I'll put it in a board for you so you don't even have to go searching through my other boards for it. It's all right here. Try to keep it as simple as possible. And then also, like I said, in my challenge tracker, there are files with recipes in them. So now these are other things that me and other coaches have compiled. This was a group that we did earlier this year. We had Back to Basics. Lost it for a second. Just different recipes here. Okay. So there's always tons and tons of resources. The foundational videos and Fixate are great. So at the top of Fixate, where are they? Here we go. Recipe videos. I always recommend that people start here. These foundational videos, Containers 101. It's a great intro. This is Autumn Calabrese telling you about them. I recommend everybody watches this. And then here is the actual meal prep that's done by Autumn. And then her AC style meal prep. She's actually a lot more fast and loose about her meal prep. She just keeps healthy choices in her home. And then she kind of does her meal prep daily. Which is fine. Obviously, if she's cool with it, then I am too. But if you prefer something like that, then, like I said, you got to make it work for yourself. So check out that video too. She also has a great video about things to keep in your pantry to keep on hand. Okay. So we've got our resources, and the thing is, you don't have to try to have all these in front of you at once. Maybe you just say, this week I've got the Fixate cookbook and I'm just going to use it. You don't have to try to get fancy with your recipes or try to find the most exotic looking things. Keep it simple. And if you want to try some new things once a week or once every 2 weeks or whatever, then do that. But don't make it more stressful than it has to be, like this lady, right? So we're going to plan it next. And this is where it starts to come together. And like I said, people kind of start to freak the heck out because here we go. And then this is when I get the messages Sarah, I just can't do this. This is overwhelming. Holy cow. Okay, you can do it. You can do this. You can give it a shot. You can take a step back and we're going to do this together. All right. So I'm drinking my Energize, which is probably a bad idea, but I always do that for these calls. Okay. So where do I start? We're always going to have a breakfast snack, lunch snack, and a dinner. So like I just said, simple is smart. That is how you're going to make this a sustainable thing. Whenever I started, I had a different dinner planned every night in my meal plan. And at the end of the week, I had a ton of food left over. I thought I'm cooking more than I did before. And I'm even more stressed. I thought this is the total opposite of what I thought was supposed to happen, So I realized, okay, I've got to be smart. I've got to be simple about this. Take a step back and, like I said, and just make it as easy on myself as possible. That's the idea. It's not to make it stressful. It's to make you have good choices in front of you. So the easiest thing is when you want to drink your Shakeology, there's one meal, done. Now you're down to 4 meals to plan for the day, right? So work that in first. We're going to go through this. Select your dinners. How often do you want to cook outside of that prep day? So do you want to prep every night, or do you want to cook every night? Do you want to use leftovers? Some people hate leftovers. I'm totally cool with them. I like to actually fix them in a different way. So maybe you'll have fajitas one night, and then you'll take the protein and the veggies the next day and put them on a salad, and you got a taco salad. I like to kind of reinvent the leftovers, or I'm known for just putting a fried egg on anything. So, you can use your leftovers wisely. You don't have to use the same exact dinner 2 nights in a row if you really don't like that. Or you can. That's what we do. Let's see, breakfast and lunch. Do you want to eat the same thing all week? Are you okay Monday through Friday at work or however you work? Are you okay eating the same thing? Or are you going to get bored? That's something you have to figure out. I keep it the same Monday through Friday at work because I don't want to make different things. A lot of the Beachbody meal plans that are planned out, they will tell you exactly how to prep it, and they make it very simple, but it's usually alternating. Like it'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the same thing, Tuesday, Thursday, something different. So that's your preference, of course. I usually stay the same through the week, and then I'll switch it up on the weekend is how I do it. Snacks, you talk about simple. Keep those things simple. When we first started, people were posting things like for snacks, like stuffed mushrooms and like things that you had to like cook. And I'm like, no, that's too much. I just want snacks to be almonds, apples and peanut butter, hummus and carrots, things that's already just right there and I don't have to think about. It's one less thing you actually have to prep. So I just, don't get crazy with your snacks. Keep those really easy. So that's up to this point. We're talking about like how we're going to plan it. Now we're actually going to do this thing. Okay. So we're going to walk through an actual meal plan. And this is my real meal plan for next week. I'm going to start with this template. This is a little bit different than the template I used to use. So the idea here is that I've got my Monday through Sunday is how I do my week. I will do, I have the color-coded equivalent to what I'm supposed to eat each day. And then just as a reminder, I have, veggie is 3, fruit, so I know the colors, okay? So that is where, this is just the basic template. If you want this template, let me know. I will email it to you, okay? Because it's in Excel, and I can't share that easily through Messenger or something. So the first thing we're going to do, really simple. I'm going to fill in some dates, like what the week is. I like to put my workout in for each day here, so it's all right there, right? And then I can check it off. So I'm starting a, Lord help me, Max 30 program on next week, and a size like mashup. Okay, so I went ahead and put that in there, and that's even better because I'm not going to be following the actual calendar that's been given for each plan. It's a mashup, so I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to know what I'm going to do the next day. You could also put, if it's different times, you could put like the link there too, because then you wouldn't have to look on the program to see what time you got to get up in the morning if you're working out. I just thought of that idea. Okay. So the next thing you're going to do, you just go get those little simple things in there. When do you want to drink your Shake-O? That's the first easy step to just mark it off. Oh, and the other thing you want to do is if there's anything going on, like if you've got like on Saturday at lunch, you're going to be at a birthday party, mark that in there. If on Friday you're going out for dinner, mark that on there now so you can kind of plan the rest of your week around it. Oddly enough, never, ever does it happen. We actually have like nothing, so I didn't add anything this time. All right, so the easiest step, like I said, is to add your Shakeology. So I put Shakeology with half a banana. That's how I like to have it. I use frozen banana instead of ice. And that's how I drink my Shakeology during the week. I like to do it as my morning snack. So I'm going to put that in there. And I'm going to tag a red for my Shakeology and a purple for the half a banana, because I know half of a banana is 1 purple, half of a large banana, right? And then on the weekend, I like to, can you see the whole screen over to the right, or is it blocked? Can you see it? No? Okay. We'll get the idea here. So then I know on the weekend, I like to drink it for lunch because I like to eat a bigger breakfast. That's what I like to do. So I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to do a Shakeology with spinach or a greens boost. That's what I was talking about. Like sometimes it's hard to get all your veggies in, so you'll put it in the Shakeology. Can't taste it if you put that like the spinach in there. I'm actually just ordering the greens boost, so I'm really excited to try it. But it's just a little supplement you put into it to get your green. So I will mark a red and a green for that one. Okay. See, I can already tell here. I had an error here. I messed up. Whatever. Big deal. We'll move on. Okay. It happens. Okay. So next we're going to go with dinners. So I got our Shakeology in there. Now I'm going to say, okay, how often do I want to cook next week? I'm going to look, like on this night, I know, Grace has this going on at night, or Luke has this, or I'm going to be here, or I'm going to be working late, or whatever. I have a board meeting. I would add that into there so I know when I'm planning, okay, I don't want to cook on this night. So here, what I did, I know on Sunday, because I already know what my current meal plan is, I'm going to have leftover white chili from Sunday. So I'm going to use leftovers here. And I'm just going to, at first, I'm just going to say like white chili, okay? I'm not going to add all the sides or anything like that yet because I want to kind of get an idea of where my containers are going. So, and then I'm going to do, I know that on Tuesday, I'm going to do turkey mozzarella meatloaf muffins. Kids love those. I'm going to throw that in there, and I'm going to double the recipe because I'm going to have leftovers. On Thursday, something really easy. I just put turkey kielbasa, chopped cabbage, onions, and peppers in a skillet, and I saute them, and we're done. So that's what I'm going to do on Thursday, leftovers Friday. And then on Saturday, we're going to be hanging around the house. So I'm going to do like a slow cooker chicken tacos chili, which is a Skinny Taste recipe. And sometimes I'll even mark like the page number or whatever in the cookbook. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cook during this week because that Monday is a leftover. I'm going to cook 3 times during the week. And I'm going to even show you some of this I'm going to be able to do on Sunday. So what I'm going to do then, like I'm going to go back and say, okay, I need a roasted veggie probably, because I'm probably going to need some veggies. I like to top my chili with Greek yogurt, just like a little dollop instead of sour cream. And I put like lime juice in it and some seasoning, and it's my replacement for sour cream. So I'll put that on there, and I'm going to put some cheddar cheese on it. Like that's how I like it. So when I do that, I know that I'm going to be getting a, let's see here. Where am I at? I already have one red. I'm going to be getting chicken, right? I'm going to be getting Greek yogurt, which is a red. I'm just going to kind of go through the list here. And actually what I would do, I would have the recipe printed out, and I would look at the recipe to make sure I'm counting correctly. And you can always ask me or your coach too. I'm going to have a roasted veggie. So there's my green. I tallied it off. And I'm going to have some cheddar cheese on top. And that's my blue. That's the healthy fat. Okay. So at this point, I'm starting to fill up my day. And I would just do that all the way through here. I'm not going to go through every single one because then we'd be on here for 2 hours. So, and the nice thing is once I get this one, I can just copy it down to the next day. Like once you really get the hang of this, there's a lot of copy and paste to it even. I mean, it starts to come a lot more naturally. So like I was talking about, do we want leftovers? Some people like to just get one protein for the week because it's on sale. You can use that strategy. What we do, I make my own lunch. Like I have one lunch that I make on Sunday and I have it through the week. Rich, my husband, he likes to take leftovers from the night before for his lunch. So that's how he does it. And you can do that too. I know a lot of people on our team do that. They're like, you know what? I don't really want leftovers, but I'd like for dinner every night, but I would take leftovers for lunch the next day. So I do that sometimes in my plans too for myself, even if I know maybe I just, I'm going to have a lot of something. All right. So after we've got Shakeology, we've got our dinners. Then I'm going to look at breakfast and lunch. I'm going to kind of go back to the beginning of the day. So like I said earlier, do we want the same thing or do we want to switch it up? Based on your work schedule, maybe you've got a lunch, like a lunch meeting, or you're going to be out a lot during the week. So you want to account for that. You already have that in there. So the first thing I'm going to do is add my breakfast. I have certain favorite things I know I want every week for breakfast. I kind of alternate between oatmeal or steel cut oats or grits. And then this new thing, which I don't know if Sarah's on here. Sarah on here? She's not on here tonight. Sarah Vought's breakfast hash. This is like my new favorite thing ever. I would eat it all day long. It's really simple. You just have like sweet potatoes. You can buy frozen cut up sweet potatoes and just roast them, or like just cook them, saute them till they're done. And then you can add spinach, peppers, onions, whatever veggies you just have. Add it, saute it all together, and then cook some turkey sausage. Chunk that stuff up, put it in a casserole dish, bake it together for a little bit, and then you just take like the back of a spoon and make little bowls in the casserole and crack an egg on it in each one, and then bake that a little bit longer. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is amazing. It's so good. I'm kind of obsessed with it right now, but that's what I'm having all week. If you can't tell by my passionate description of it. So that's going to have, I know it's going to have sweet potato, so that is a yellow. Okay, so I'm going to add a yellow here. And it's going to have veggies in it, so I'm going to add a green. And it's going to have eggs in it, which we know are a protein, right? So I put that in there. But the thing is, it's only going to have one egg. So I've got that turkey sausage in there too, and it's about half of a red too that I'm going to have in there. So I'm just going to count it as one total. So I've got like half with the egg, half with the turkey sausage. All right. All right. So that's my breakfast. Next, I'm going to start looking at what do I have left at this point. I looked, and every day, just about every day, I've got a protein and a veggie left at this point. So for lunch, I'm going to have a Southwest chicken and veggie bowl. Real simple. I'm just going to saute some veggies, bake some chicken with some like cumin, smoked paprika, garlic on it, and cut it up, kind of do like a little bowl with it. And I'll probably put some lime juice on it. So that's really simple. That's what I'm going to have for lunch. I know one day here I'm going to have lunch out. And I know I'm just going to try to stick with that, like a veggie and a protein. Simple, right? So that's what I'm going to do for those days. So then I'm going to tally this. So I've added my breakfast. Now I'm going to add another protein and a veggie. So I am tapped out here except for a fruit. Okay. Actually, I don't have an orange either. See, that's a mess up. Oop, just ignore that one. It'll be in there in a minute. All right. And once I've got breakfast, lunch, my Shakeout, and my dinners, I know I still totally have an afternoon snack left. And so now I really do look what's left. Now I'm just going to fill in the blanks. Okay. All righty. So the next step is I'm going to look at my afternoon snack. Because like I said, I had an orange left, which is like nuts and seeds, and I had a fruit. So for my snack, I'm going to have half of an apple and almonds. That's my snack. I don't have to cook anything. I don't have to make anything. Okay. So I'm just going to start doing that through the days. I'm going to try to figure out what do I have left. Okay. So most of the days I had a purple and a orange left. So that's actually what I'm going to have for my afternoon snack all week long. And I think then I looked down here when I got to the weekend, like I hadn't had a healthy fat and I hadn't had a veggie. I like carrots and hummus. That's a healthy fat and a veggie. So you just kind of start filling in the blanks. If you aren't category A and you would have more veggies and you would have more fruits and more protein, what I would do is I would go back and start filling in more vegetables. This is when I would probably, if I hadn't started putting more veggies in Shakeology, I would put them in there. You can have, larger portions of the protein at dinner to fill in those containers. Okay. So this is actually the finished product right here. There were how many screens here? We did our, see, that was just like the preliminary stuff. So we did our Shakeout, we did our dinners, we added our breakfast and our lunch, and then we filled in the blanks. That's really taking it down to simplified steps, but that's kind of just how it flows. I don't like to fill in a whole day at once, because then I feel like I'm reinventing the wheel every single day. So I would do more like meals, the time of the meal at once, not like, okay, on Monday I'm going to have this, and then on Tuesday I'm going to have this. I feel like that's inefficient. You can do it that way if you feel more comfortable, but I have just found that this seems to work best. I didn't mention the oils and butters. This tends to happen, like that would be any nut butter, to like peanut butter, almond butter, cashew butter, any of that. That's going to be in this category. A lot of times people will add peanut butter to their Shakeology, so that would be a teaspoon. You do have to count it. Another, or like if you use almond milk, unsweetened almond milk, that's a teaspoon. It says this is an exception. In the food list, it still says it's a yellow. It's not. Everybody praise the Lord when that came out, because people were counting it as a yellow because that was how it originally was. Unsweetened almond milk is a teaspoon now. So when you add that to your Shakeology, you don't have to take out a yellow for your day. You can still have your carb, which is awesome. So if you cook something in oil, like if you have roasted veggies in oil, I always add that to as one oil and butter for my meal or for the day. Okay. All right. So next, so that's our plan. We've got it. We feel good about it, or we don't, whatever. We're going with it and we're going to make it happen. And we're just going to see how this all comes out. Right. So the next thing we're going to do is we've got to get our shopping list together. And I like to just kind of work methodically through my plan. I like to have all my recipes. I like to print out my recipes. I like to have them printed next to me. And this may seem really simple, and you're like, Sarah, you don't have to tell me how to make a grocery list. But I like to use this template, or any template where it's got it broken down in categories. Because if you just start writing onions, turkey, whatever, and go on, and then your next one has onions, you don't have to go looking through the category or your list to find it. It's in categories, so it just makes it a little bit easier. I like to add quantities as I go. So if one recipe calls for one onion and then 2 recipes later calls for another, I just kind of tally it up as I go next to it, so I know how many I need in total. You can stock your pantry with that Fixate guide, like I was talking about, like quinoa or rice, different ingredients, almond flour, different ingredients that are going to enhance your what you have available. And keep in mind that once you do stock your pantry, like that grocery visit might be a little bit more, right? Because you're getting pantry items. But next week you may only be getting fresh stuff. You don't need to get pantry items, so you're going to be saving a lot more money that week. And then it says check out the prepared list in the example. Yeah, there's not one. I'm going to have to finish it before, because I just did my plan today. But I will finish the list and I'll send that out to you guys. Then when you get to the store, stick to the list. Do not put blinders on. Do not go, oh, that's a good sale on those like Cheez-Its. No, don't do it. Stick to the list. You'll save money. You'll stick to your plan. Take the shortcuts. Like I talked about, you can get like frozen sweet potatoes that are already cut. I get frozen diced onions quite a bit to add in soups. Take those shortcuts if you can. I just think it makes it easier. You don't have to. For me, I just like it. Go low sodium, no sugar added. Be careful when stuff says low sugar or no sugar added, though, that they're not adding some sort of artificial sweetener to it. The fewer ingredients, the better. Like in pasta sauce, even tomatoes, like canned tomato sauce, you'd be surprised at how many of those have sugar in them. Is it Cento? Something like that. That's a very good brand to get tomato sauce. But just check. Start being one of those people that actually looks at the ingredients in what you're buying. Go organic when you can. I don't buy all organic, but some things I do. Like berries, I like to buy more organic. Bananas, I don't necessarily, because I feel like it's got a thick skin. I don't know. Who knows if my theory holds. But anyway, stay on the outside. And what I mean by that is the processed stuff is in the middle. A lot of that processed stuff is just junk is in the middle. So stay on the outside with the produce and the fresh foods. You'll still have to go get canned items and things like that, sure, but that's just kind of a rule of thumb. Don't get sucked in to all that nastiness in there, like with Fruit Loops and like I said, Cheez-Its before, and like fish sticks and stuff. Just don't do it. Just stay away from it. You can do it. So this is the template that I used for my grocery list. I love it. One of the other coaches actually shared it with me when I first started, and I've just kind of stuck with it and used it ever since. What I love is that every week I run out of room on my fruit and veggies. Like I'm putting it up here, I'm putting it down here. I run out of room. And when I do that, I know I'm doing the right thing. Like it just kind of feels good. Like, hey, I'm doing my fruit and veggies right. I know that this is good. And it's just kind of a good little motivator. So after we get back from the grocery, we're going to prep it. And I like to do a crock pot meal on Sundays because I can do that first and then just let that cook while I'm doing everything else. I'll systematically start prepping. I'll chop the veggies. Like if I know I'm going to have onions in 3 different recipes, I'll go ahead and chop them all. I leave the easiest stuff for when other stuff's cooking. So I'm going to portion out my snacks and stuff like that. I'll do that while my chicken's baking or while my hash is in the oven. And the biggest thing is you will get better. The first time it might take you 4 hours. I don't know how long it's going to take to do this, but be patient and know that now it takes me about an hour to meal prep every week because I've just got it down. I know what I'm going to do when, and it's worth it because during the week then we just come in, we know what we're having for dinner. In the morning before I go to work, I grab my breakfast, my snacks, my lunch, and it really makes a difference. But do have confidence. You will get better. So I've got just one more slide here. What I would suggest, like for this meal plan, how I would do it. So on Sunday, I'm going to have, so Sunday would be the day before this starts, right? So I'm going to have white chili that I'm putting in the crock pot. I'm going to do that on Sunday morning. Okay. And that's going to be the first thing I do. Then I'm going to start my Southwest chicken and veggie bowl. So I'm going to start baking the chicken, prepping the veggies, and like sauteing them. While I'm sauteing those vegetables, I'm also going to be sauteing the vegetables for my hash. I'm going to do all that at the same time. So that's what's like 2/3 because there are some different ingredients in it. So I'll have my veggies going. I'll have my sausage, my turkey sausage going. And that way I'll have like all the veggies and the protein done. Okay. Then the next thing I'll do is I'll kind of look ahead at the dinners for the week and say, is there anything I can go ahead and prep for my dinners? So like on Tuesday, there's this turkey mozzarella meatloaf muffins. I can go ahead and it's basically like a meatloaf mixture. I can go ahead and mix that up. And then on Tuesday, all I have to do is like put them in the muffins and put them in the oven. And then like while that stuff's baking and cooking, like I said, I will do the simple things. Like I'll put the almonds in a baggie. I'll measure them in my orange and throw them in a baggie. I will do half of an apple and put it in a baggie. Like that's the simple things I'll do as I'm kind of waiting for the other stuff. What was the other thing? Oh, so I've got 6. Like if I want to, maybe I'll go ahead and chop some cabbage and onions. Depends on how late in the week it is. I mean, I may just do it that night, but it's just kind of up to you how much you want to do. Some people will go ahead and do stuff like that, and then they'll freeze them, and then they'll get them out the night before. But you can make notes all over your meal plan about how you want to do it. This is how I would do it. So you can see 5 to 6 steps to make my entire week easier. I make my Shakeology in the morning, every morning. I know there's another coach on our team. She makes it the whole week ahead. She freezes it, and it's fine. So that's really up to you. So I don't prep that part. I just do that in the morning. After my workout, I do my Shakeology. So that's all I've got on the actual presentation. So I'm going to stop the recording. I have been talking for a full hour, you guys, nonstop.